3 months. That's all the time left before 2026 arrives. For most people, it's just the turn of another calendar year. But for the AFX community, it's a deadline charged with emotion, speculation, and tension. A ticking clock in the background of every price chart, Telegram message, and YouTube comment thread. The big question: will AFX explode in a breakout the crypto world never saw coming, or collapse under the pressure of its own promises? For over a year now, AFX has existed in a strange space. Not quite mainstream, not quite forgotten. It's lived in the shadow of louder, more viral coins, but it hasn't disappeared. It's evolved, built, consolidated. And now, as we approach the final quarter before 2026, something is shifting. Volume is creeping up. New wallets are appearing. Influencers are whispering. The countdown has begun and every signal matters. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. To understand what might happen in the next 90 days, we need to look back. AFX began its journey with a simple idea: to offer real decentralization, community-powered development, and a sustainable economic model in a sea of rug pulls and pump and dumps. It launched quietly, without celebrity endorsements or million-dollar marketing campaigns. Just code, vision, and a few believers willing to take a chance. For months, it hovered in obscurity. Price movement was minimal, activity was organic. A small community began forming, people who believed in long-term utility rather than short-term hype. They didn't care about flashy gains. They wanted something real. They called it early. They planted their flags. And slowly, AFX began to grow. By mid-2025, AFX started gaining traction. It survived cycles of volatility, token migrations, and ecosystem challenges that would have destroyed weaker projects. It was never the loudest token in the room, but it refused to die. It didn't need to moon. It just needed to survive. And in the brutal world of altcoins, survival is a rare form of strength. Now the landscape has changed. Investors are nervous. Markets are moving sideways. Bitcoin dominance is unpredictable. Meme coins are stalling. And into this moment steps AFX, quietly positioning itself for something bigger. But the question is, can it hold the line and can it break through? Because the reality is this: the next 3 months could decide everything. Not just for price, but for credibility, community, long-term viability. If AFX can deliver between now and 2026 on partnerships, on development, on market momentum, it could set the foundation for a true breakout. But if it stumbles, the damage to sentiment could take months or even years to repair. So what could cause AFX to explode? The first trigger: listings. If AFX secures a major centralized exchange listing, Binance, KuCoin, or even a regional player, it could instantly expose the token to tens of thousands of new investors. Liquidity surges, visibility skyrockets, volume follows. Even a mid-tier listing could be enough to ignite short-term buying pressure. The second trigger: development. If the AFX devs drop a major update, new staking models, improved DeFi integrations, or a functioning DApp, it sends a message. AFX isn't just trading noise, it's building. And in a market starved for utility, that message travels fast. The third trigger: influencers. Like it or not, crypto narratives are shaped by voices with reach. If a major YouTuber, TikToker, or Twitter thread picks up the AFX story and tells it well, new eyes come in. New wallets, new liquidity. It's not fair, but it's real. And in a game of momentum, attention is currency. But for every path to explosion, there's a shadow of collapse. So let's ask the harder question: what could go wrong? First, community fatigue. Many AFX holders have been here a long time. They've seen pump cycles come and go. If the next 3 months feel like more of the same, no action, no transparency, no movement, holders may start to drift. Sell pressure builds slowly at first, then rapidly. And when belief erodes, recovery becomes twice as hard. Second, external risks. The crypto market is volatile. A major Bitcoin dump, regulatory crackdown, or black swan event could drag everything down, including AFX. It doesn't matter how strong the fundamentals are if sentiment is destroyed. Altcoins bleed hardest when panic hits. Third, internal silence. If the AFX team goes quiet, no updates, no roadmap clarity, no community engagement, suspicion grows. People start asking questions. The Discord slows. YouTube comments turn cold. And in crypto, perception often matters more than facts. A silent dev team can be more dangerous than a bad one. So where does that leave us? Right now, AFX is in a state of tension. Not hype, not fear, just tension. Like a coil pulled tight, waiting to snap. One strong announcement could trigger a wave, but one wrong move or no move at all could flatten momentum for months. Let's look at the charts. Price has shown signs of accumulation. Wallet activity is stable. Volume remains modest but consistent. Whales aren't selling. Retail is hesitant but curious. It's a stalemate, but one that can't last. Something will break, either up or down. In the last 90 days before a new year, psychology shifts. People want certainty, closure. They look at their portfolios and ask hard questions. Should I hold this into 2026? Should I cut losses? Should I double down? And AFX holders are no different. They're watching, analyzing, waiting, every social post, every GitHub commit, every transaction. Some are praying for a catalyst. Others are building quietly in the background. But all of them know this is it. 3 months, that's the window. The difference between breakout and breakdown, between being early or being forgotten. And then there's the wild card, retail resurgence. In crypto, retail doesn't follow logic, it follows emotion, hype, stories. And if a single story about AFX catches on, whether it's about a 10x wallet, a viral TikTok, or a news headline, it could create a feedback loop. More buyers, more noise, more price action, which brings more attention, which brings more buyers. It's the spark that turns into wildfire. But wildfires can burn both ways. If AFX gets caught in a hype cycle with no follow-through, the crash will be sharp. Holders who entered at the top will scream rug. YouTubers will turn on it. Reddit threads will say, "I told you so." And the project will be forced to rebuild from scratch again. That's why the next 90 days matter. Not because a single day will make or break AFX, but because together they form the narrative. The story that 2026 will remember. The accumulation phase ends. The decision begins. Will AFX explode before 2026? It could. The fundamentals are there. The timing is right. The market is hungry for a new story. But will it? That depends on execution, on messaging, on the community, on the team. On you. Because crypto doesn't move without people, without belief, without momentum. If you're holding AFX now, you already know this. You've seen the potential, you've done the math, you've watched the charts. Now you're watching the clock. Tick, tick, tick. Time doesn't wait. It doesn't care about your dreams, your bags, or your belief. It keeps moving. And in 3 months, it will tell us what kind of project AFX really is. A failure, a survivor, or the biggest altcoin surprise of the new year. So we wait and watch. And when that chart moves, one way or the other, you'll remember this moment, the quiet before the storm. The final countdown. 3 months, that's all it takes to change everything. Or nothing. And we're already halfway through the first week.